All right, people who give plenty of Fs and so much more is none other than the wonderful Caroline Marcus, our colleague here at Sky News, Saturday Herald Sun columnist, and our mate here at Sky News, none other than Steve Price. And look at him, he's got the BLF flag in the back and he's got plenty of chest hair to prove how super Australian he is, announcing his run for the Labor Party.
Like it's not the BLM flag, Paul.
Yeah, and all the rest of it in the next little while. None other than Matt Canavan, of course, our senator from Queensland, who today...
You just can't see the transgender. You just can't see the transgender flag. It's off camera, but
okay, cool.
It's here too.
Well, we will pan the shot there in any way. And he's got the little corkboard behind. Price has got the same thing in his, but it's to hang up all the different key rings that he gets from the cars he gets to borrow for free. He's very good at a rort, and I love you, Steve, for that. I really do. All right, now let's get to the tweet that you put out today, Matt, about Anthony Albanese. He's in India. He's done plenty of speeches in India, but there's one word he's not using while in India, and it's the C word, coal.
Yep,
coal, as you pointed out today,
it is
70% of our exports to India is coal. Prime Minister goes there, and I would even guess the very float that he was riding around with Modi may well somewhere at some time have been powered by coal.
Exactly, Paul. It's the love that dare not speak its name, coal. As you say, point out, it's 70%. 70% of our exports from Australia to India are coal. That's up from 5 years ago. It was about half 5 years ago, and now it's gone up to 70% because there's just absolutely voracious demand for energy on behalf of India. They are growing, they are developing, they're going to need a lot more coal. They're building 50 coal-fired power stations as we speak, and of course they're building whole new cities to house people coming in from the countryside, and that needs a lot of steel. It also needs coking coal. And we've got a choice here. If we can either provide that to India, we've got a lot of coal. They have a lot of coal too, but they don't have very good coal. They need some better coal to mix with it. And we can provide that to them. Or if we don't, because Albanese certainly wasn't selling coal when he was over there, as you say, he didn't mention it once in 12 different speeches or press conferences. But if we don't sell them coal, guess who will? Paul?
The other C word?
Vladimir Putin and the Russians. The Russians. So they are. Well, China won't. China and India won't. They don't really trade much. They don't like each other too much. But Russia is building they're spending more than $13 billion on rail lines to export more coal to Asia. You can see during this last crisis that India hasn't been shy taking Russian oil. India's become one of the largest oil refineries in the world, as Russian oil gets sort of washed, if you like, there and sent around the world. They're not embarrassed by that. And so we should be trying to get big countries like India away from the otherwise Eurasian landmass that's being put together by Iran, by China, by Russia. You might have seen Saudi Arabia join them over the weekend. If we're going to get real here, and reduce the risk of conflict in our region, we have to supply energy to other nations to bring them into our orbit, the free nations of the world, and away from those dictatorial authoritarian regimes like China, Russia and Iran who are destabilising the world.
Well, and Pricey, if he's planning on buying, $200 million worth of subs and extra gear and all the national security stuff we're going to hear in the next couple of days, he's going to need some revenue. The essentially only major growing source of revenue, the only reason Australia sends more than it brings in, you know the story, it's to do with minerals and obviously coal. But shh, don't tell anyone.
I got a bit of a fright this morning. I worked out I'm going to be 98 years old when that sub deal is finished. If I get to 98, I'll be pretty happy. If I ever see a submarine, I'll be surprised. And good on Matt for getting dressed up for us tonight. It's good to see him in his casual gear in his shed there with his hacksaw and everything else behind him. Look, I love that golf cart that Modi and Albo were on in India. I presume that's electric, like most golf carts. And so they would have had to plug it into the clubhouse when they got it back to wherever it came from. And presumably, Matt, that electricity comes from good old Queensland coal.
Well, and what I love on top of all of it is that he had to go all the way to India to get on a float when he'd just come from the Mardi Gras, and there's plenty of floats there if he wanted to jump on them, but he didn't. That'd be too politically provocative.